Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GANs processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent His messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the message, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion that is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, the path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness by giving will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to become arrogant in the power that you have understood and you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised. And this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul. And we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand. To be there, to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle, which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and in the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 291st One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace and Justice here on Tuesday, September 12th, 2023. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Education Department and part of the public teachings in English. My name's Rick Crammond, and I'll be host once again in this weekly series of workshops. And once again, we are joined with members of the Universal Council who will be presenting today's workshop. So let me get their presentation up and ready here, and we shall begin.
Welcome, everybody, beautiful souls. Welcome to the universe community. Now, the intro is from 502. In a long term, Keshe Foundation teaching will come to flourish in a different way. At the same time, through the development of the technology, Keshe Foundation in coming days will open a new channel, a new way, a new presentation of technology, of we call to interact with the illness of the man, condition with which up to now were not and could not be understood, can be brought under what we call new dimension of the work. Diseases that the doctors could not imagine can be changed in minutes and days. Now will be offered to the scientific world. Condition will we be called not imagine, can be handled too easily by interaction of the fields. New technologies, new systems will be delivered. And is already under use that will bring the possibility of the eradication of Parkinson, eradication of illness like ALS and other conditions. Very much eradication of what we call the neural system of the man, which cannot handle the physicality of the man. In connecting to the soul of the man with the soul of the physicality of the man. In connecting with the soul of the man with the soul of the physicality, and with it connecting to what we call the physical dimension of the man. Keshe Foundation, as we showed you and as we develop the technology in respect to coma, and we showed it took us weeks and months of operation to bring back a coma in condition, as we saw with the Naomi and the other case. Thank you.
We'll open this side of the knowledge. In a way, we transfer the knowledge to the doctors and we show them the system, and it's for them to use. We have tested this in many ways, but now in the past few weeks, we see an end to a lot of these things. Some of the results and tests from our side shows 100% correct results has been achieved and can be achieved and can be developed over weeks and months, eradicating what we call the paralysis of the body of the man in the physical dimension. What we ask for and what we'll ask is to start of the new trials, what we call conversion of the energies of the man in the dimension of the soul of physicality to the what we call physicality of the man. These we have seen the results of intellect, knowledge, science will become instantaneous transfer. Whatever is the knowledge of the man can be transferred instantaneously. It does not matter what language, what emotion. Now is time to complete delivery of the technologies beyond the imagination of the man, deliveries of technologies which bring eradication of illness from the physicality of the man. Maybe it's time to show but not become magician. As you have the fundamental understanding of the technology, as many of you have understood, it's time to bring the dimension of understanding and the challenges which face man in the dimension of physical transportation and transmutation. Thank you.
We have completed in understanding the process of the creation, how we create ourselves, how we manifest ourselves according to the time, place, position, strength of the fields, and in understanding of the totality. In understanding the totality, in understanding the reality of the existence, now we come to the next step. We come to the next understanding. How do we transfer one energy to another energy? What is the common denominator, link between the soul of man and soul of physicality? And if you understand that, then it gives you a link to the creator, because it comes through the same strength. It comes through the same path. And how do we communicate? How do we connect to the rest of the universe? But the coming time, in the coming months, in the coming years, we will show you more and more in how to connect.
Rick, are you hearing anything?
No, I'm not sure if there's supposed to be a new speaker or Sweta got cut off there.
I think she got cut off at the word connect. Let's see. Yeah.
Sweta,
Okay.
are you there? I see your microphone's open. We don't hear you. It's like it's turned off.
Else I will take over.
Okay, Sweta, you may have to restart to rehook up your microphone.
I think she left off with in how to connect.
Yes. In how to add on, in how to understand the process of the creation and transmutation and transportation. Depends if you want to travel in the dimension of physicality, you go for the transportation. If you want to go through the transportation and transmutation of the fields of the planetary system, same distance, instead of 18 hours, is 18 seconds. And then if you learn how to travel with the strength field of the cosmic rays of the higher order in the same position in milliseconds, that's all the difference is. Here you go by the order of magnitude strength of the field interaction. Otherwise, it's the same soul. Otherwise, it's the same soul of physicality, using different method of transportation. Now, there is no weightlessness, but change the donkey to the rocket, using different magnetic field strength. You find new dimension of the emotion of the soul. You find the speeds of the interaction needs faster understanding of the position, time, and place. Then this brings man a new intellect, a new knowledge, becoming the what we call passenger of the universe, the true passenger of the universe. Because you make that dream reality, because you understand the interaction of the fields of the soul of the man and the soul of physicality, how these two interact, how you position them, how you distance them from each other, how you use the different layer of the strength of these in respect to each other. You decide your method of existence. You decide your position and the foundation of life anywhere in the universe. Man decides to encage the soul and give it a cage which is flexible. We call it the body of the man. We chose the earth to manifest itself with 2 legs and 2 arms. Now, if you decide to use a higher order dimension of the physicality, then you still be on this planet, maybe invisible, but understanding more of the knowledge of the creation, because you interact in different dimension field strength. You have to be that donkey which still carries the emotion, the understanding of interaction with the environment. It's a real water I don't cross. It's grass I eat.
So in a way, we are back to the position of the creation, with no intelligence, but understanding of the motion. And then the interaction of the emotion of the man with his environment, bring man that intellect. And this is what the lack of knowledge has made the donkey of the man in this planet, because in a way they are settled with the ignorance and the pride of the man, and have forgotten about the true life of the existence. Then the man is created out of the energy of the universe. Of the universe. It come from it and it go back to it. It's just how clever you become to use the position and time in a way to advance your knowledge. Because one way or another, in one position or another, in a dimension of physicality, in a dimension of the fields of the soul of the man, in a dimension of interaction of the fields of the universe, there is always an end. I think, Mehran, I think you got the microphone open, I think, I'm not sure. Sorry, I lost my, okay. Only entity who will come from the beginning to the end is the creator, and no other creature in the universe. But you have to understand, you are a part of that creation. So we are responsible for it. We are there to bring the change, we are there to bring the change, elevation of the understanding of the creation, and even our own creator in a dimension of this creation. If I cannot exist, if there isn't an environment to confirm his existence, did I read it well? If I cannot exist, if there isn't an environment to confirm his existence, you are God of your own physicality, and your child is a God of its own physicality. Is there only one God? Is there only one existence? Without the existence of the child, there is no confirmation of the Father. So, in understanding this, we decide the motion of how the Father feels and the motion of how his child feels. And in the time and place and the collective society of the existence of the fields of the universe and the unicos. Jaco. Back to you.
Thank you. Extend the dimension of the soul of the man. Extend the dimension strength of the soul of physicality of the man. And then decide in which field interactions you want to manifest yourself. You can create the condition of the Mars on this planet and show yourself how you will look on Mars. And then you find out man's expectation of the life in the universe will change the position of the perfection of life, where we all strive to reach the ultimate goal, to become part of the creation and become part of the creator. Understand the next cycle of teachings which come in what strength of the fields I want to travel, in what strength of the field I want to manifest the soul of physicality, in which dimension of field strength I want my two emotions to be in balance with each other, that I can confirm my existence to the best beauty of Mitra. And then we come to the beginning and the end, and we see the beauty of the creator and the creation. We create condition that some of you will be able to go to this dimension. Condition, dimension of the transmutation by your will, not by us. We are just the creator of the environment. It's a condition, strength of your own understanding between the soul of the man and the soul of physicality of the man to go through that transition. Every man has to take that flight of fancy on his own accord and own understanding of the totality of his own creation. Now you understand it's in the capability of every soul to reach the point of understanding of the creation. And it's for man to decide which school, which mode of transportation, and which dimension of the emotion and the strength that man uses, and nothing else. We are not here to slave man with another. We are here to free man from all others. And this is your responsibility to understand the position and strength of your soul of physicality and how you can transmute between one and the other. Up to now, you call it a dream. Now that dream has become reality. Thank you very much. We can go to the next slide, please.
The Universal Council wish for the conference in London to be a breakthrough for humanity to become man of the space and united in peace. Thank you. We are present. Next, please.
We, the Universal Council, give for our soul the fields of unconditional love and care for the elevation of all soul in existence.
We are present. The next slide, please. So we come to the soul connection. Please allow your soul to open up for this interconnection of souls. We find a comfortable position to relax, to support our physicality. We breathe in and out, slowly through our nose. It is to support our soul with the energy it needs. And by that, we expand far beyond the boundaries of our planet. We connect to all souls working on peace, to our knowledge seekers, to the Universal Council members, and to the universal soul of the Universal Council. Through it, we connect to our beloved universal family, but also to the systems that support us in this work. In the connection and work on soul level, we connect to Mr. Keshe and thank him for all he does for humanity. We connect to Mitra in the beauty of manifestation, and to our Creator in the love, the line of creation. We do this through the dome of peace. Now in thoughts we reach each other's hands to connect and to exchange and share our unconditional love to whoever is in need. We do it in silence. Now we slowly come back and we thank all souls participating in this interconnection, in the manifestation of peace on earth. Thank you very much. Then we can go to the next slide, please. We come to the soul time. As you probably know, I'm the UC member representative of the Dutch language. My name is Jacko. And again, I made my thoughts about what I learned from Mr. Keshe teachings. It's combined with knowledge of the Knowledge Seekers Workshop 501 and 502. But first, I would like to repeat something because it's so important to understand. So these are the words from Mr. Keshe. As I always said, life doesn't start with matter. Life starts with the fields. Interaction of the fields creates a plasma. Interaction of the plasmas creates physics. And the interaction of the two plasmas of physics create chemistry. And then multiply with its biology, and multiply of it is the essence of enlightenment of the soul. And then, when enough souls interact and work together, become the soul of the creator. So now my part. Are you feeling the same? Do you also have this feeling that the happenings are going faster and faster around you? It's so good that the souls do not have the burden of time. The understanding that we are privileged to experience physicality. Thank you, Mitra. The knowledge about our current manifestation we call life, and the change of understanding how life exists in the dimension of the soul brings us a lot of chances, possibilities, and opportunities to bring in line our soul with our soul of physicality, and our physicality is the key to prepare for transmutation. You might ask, but how can I do that? Well, can you imagine a straight line? There's really not much more necessary than that. Imagine your soul accommodating your soul of physicality, accommodating your physicality. All three, one line, one accommodation. When we connect at 21 Central European summertime, but also every time you feel it when it comes to your mind, we first start with relaxation or physicality. The reason is to make it easier for our soul to absorb, to exchange the energies that are needed. Every non-relaxed situation is like a brake that slows down the process of being one with your environment. Did you notice how intense the energy is grown while connecting in the last few months? Maybe you also had the experience of vibrating cells all through your body. Feel how light your body feels while vibrating. The more we get back to the understanding of being one with all souls in existence, brings us closer to the point of being free to travel. We know how to behave since we learned the ethos of the universe. For those who are new and for all of us still working on it, think good. And by that, speak good. And if we learn that, we will start to do good in our daily life. Make it your inner way of living in everything you do. As I used to say, start working with your soul. Commit in unconditional love to your soul. Be humble and ask your soul to the benefit of all. And if it's given to you, then it's your right. Now, what if it's not given? Then maybe ask yourself, was it really to the benefit of all? What we learned in the past time is that the systems Mr. Keshe is giving us to participate, they help us to work on our souls, to expand, to connect, and to share our totality. remember that when you share love unconditionally, you will receive more, to give more. Yesterday, I was walking the stairs and my hands started tingling. It felt like energy coming in, and it was almost like static energy. My hair started to stand up, and immediately it came to my mind, share it with others in the same building, the same community, but also far beyond. It's hard to describe in words how beautiful it feels to share. It's really fantastic. Our sharing is not for humanity only. We also share with our universal family and all souls in existence. The fine-tuning of the Keshe Foundation system will be compatible also for those coming from the universe. We will be the students and the teachers at the same time. Soon, my dear souls, the change will be huge and amazing, independent of physicality, without the magic, but full of science and creation. Understand your soul, understand what we can create, and all the possibilities that open up. We will have the immediate feedback to correct our misbehavior, our addictions to physicality, and we can let it flow. With it, let go all of your fears. Remember where we come from as a soul, and remember where we go back to. Don't forget to enjoy your time on Earth, and soon far beyond. Totality is built on independence for all souls. Make your soul your teacher. Learn as much as possible. We wish you happy creating in the now. Thank we as one. Next slide, please. Okay, the plasma connection, Rick, is the second question. Am I right?
We had the third question. Last time we had 1 and 2.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I've got the start at 48:27, so I'm not sure if that was, I think that was the third question. Let's see. Okay, so let me share correctly here with the sound. Okay, again, this is an excerpt from the plasma connection. We can give the link in the chat for that as well. Okay, let's begin.
Second question. I'm studying the lesson.
Apparently this is on the second question, so we should forward it to the third question, correct?
Yes,
yes.
Okay, anybody have a timestamp for that? I'm not sure.
Or do we really? Sometimes the impression is that they didn't exist, but it was there, and you know what we give an action, thought, words are.
Com a força de campo, de inércia e deposição. Viemos do mesmo. Repete novamente. Sem precisar matar para comer.
Help me?
Então, uma outra pergunta.
The truth is inside you. It's action. getting rid of the
Okay, I think I've got it here.
Desaparecerão.
So then we are on the third question. Hello, members of the Universal Council. Thank you for your answer last month. At some point, we notice strange behaviors in the environment. And as we learned from Mr. Keshe, where we change the force to try to bring peace to the environment, but sometimes and in some interactions, the force is too strong and even trying to control, we do not understand very well. Even when we sleep, it feels like we've been born somewhere else. In this dimension of understanding, does the soul work to correct what we can't understand and return to a new dynamic position? Or do we really change reality? Sometimes the impression is that they didn't exist, but it was there and you know it. But many around you didn't even realize that all those events existed. In the same sense, in the soul dimension, are we all working together on the same correction? Or does each soul occupy the work and position in its own strength in the soul dimension?
Então, a terceira pergunta é: olá, membros do Conselho Universal, obrigado por sua resposta no mês passado. Em algum momento, percebemos comportamentos estranhos no ambiente. E como aprendemos com o Sr. Keshe, onde mudamos a força para tentar trazer a paz ao ambiente, mas às vezes, em algumas interações, a força é muito forte e mesmo tentando controlá-la, não entendemos muito bem. Mesmo quando dormimos, parece que nascemos em outro lugar. Nessa dimensão de entendimento, a alma trabalha para corrigir o que não podemos entender e retornar a uma nova posição dinâmica, ou realmente mudamos a realidade? Às vezes, a impressão é de que o dia não existiu, mas ele estava lá e você sabe, mas muitos ao seu redor nem perceberam que todos esses eventos existiram. No mesmo sentido, na dimensão da alma, todos estamos trabalhando juntos na mesma correção, ou cada alma ocupa o trabalho e a posição em sua própria força na dimensão da alma?
And the first answer, when we sleep, we live reality. This physical earth life is our choice. We create reality when we follow the ethics of the universe. Our conscious actions allows us to understand more about the knowledge of the Creator and creation every day. We become more enlightened. The soul is always there helping us, so that we continue to remember the knowledge about the Creator and live correctly. From there, we expand knowledge to our environment, and it is there that we begin to change reality. All is made up of maghreb fields. What we give, an action, thought, words are fields, energies that are all united. Let's imagine such big rays, like when we see those rivers that are overflowing, and we are a millionth particle of dust, part of the same flow. We are one. For this, we are totally united. We call ourselves knowledge seekers because we are eager to find a different physical life. We are aware that there are things to change in our life, and this is a good starting point. The limit does not exist. Souls seek the same thing, their illumination.
Então, a primeira resposta é: quando dormimos, vivemos a realidade. Essa vida física na Terra é nossa escolha. Criamos a realidade quando seguimos a ética do universo, o ethos, né? Nossa ação consciente nos permite entender mais sobre o conhecimento do Criador e da criação a cada dia. Nos tornamos mais iluminados. A alma está sempre lá para nos ajudar, para que continuemos a lembrar o conhecimento sobre o Criador e vivamos corretamente. A partir daí, expandimos o conhecimento para o nosso ambiente, e é aí que começa a mudar a realidade. Tudo é composto por campos de Magrave. O que damos, uma ação ou um pensamento, palavras, são campos de energia que estão todos unidos. Vamos imaginar raios tão grandes como quando vemos rios que transbordam, e somos uma partícula milionésima de poeira, parte do mesmo fluxo. Somos um, por isso estamos totalmente unidos. Nos chamamos de buscadores de conhecimento porque estamos ansiosos para encontrar uma vida física diferente. Estamos cientes de que há coisas a mudar em nossa vida, e este é um bom ponto de partida. O limite não existe. As almas buscam a mesma coisa, a iluminação.
There is another answer. We come from the same ray. We are connected ever since. Our separation is just an illusion. We are all little flames of the big fire. Now we learn to understand both dimensions. In time, the knowledge will guide us. Let both souls accommodate each other according to the inertia field strength of your position and trust your soul. He is your captain. Reality is the manifestation we make. Changing this manifestation will change what we call reality.
Viemos do mesmo raio. Estamos conectados desde sempre. Nossa separação é apenas uma ilusão. Somos todas pequenas chamas do grande fogo. Agora aprendemos a entender ambas as dimensões. Com o tempo, o conhecimento nos guiará. Deixe as almas se acomodarem umas às outras, de acordo com a força de campo de inércia e de posição. E confie em sua alma. Ela é o capitão. A realidade é a manifestação que criamos. Mudar essa manifestação mudará o que chamamos de realidade.
And there is another answer. We are unified in our wish for peace. The wish is working in the fields, and the fields are dynamic. The souls in our environment are working to add to the wish, and the wish becomes stronger and stronger. And it will change the environment because everything is made of magnetic fields and they are in motion constantly. So us being unified in the wish for peace and by strengthening our souls by unconditional giving and following the ethos of Mitra and the universe and using the commandments as a tool to align our physicality with our soul, we will see the changes, and we do it together because we are all coming from the same, and we are one.
Estamos unidos em nosso desejo pela paz. O desejo está funcionando nos campos e campos dinâmicos. As almas em nosso ambiente estão trabalhando para contribuir com o desejo, e o desejo se torna cada vez mais forte. E ele mudará o ambiente, porque tudo é composto por campos magnéticos que estão em constante movimento. Portanto, ao estarmos unidos no desejo de paz e ao fortalecermos nossas almas por meio da doação incondicional e seguindo o ethos de Mitra e do universo, usando os mandamentos como ferramenta para alinhar nossa fisicalidade com nossa alma, veremos as mudanças. E fazemos isso juntos, porque todos viemos do mesmo, nós somos um.
And there is another answer. The souls do not correct anything. It just adds fields. Elevate. Or do we really change reality? We do not change reality. We transmute and transform from one dimension to another. It's like changing clothes to suit the party you are going to. Sometimes the impression is that that day didn't exist, but it was there and you know it. But many around you didn't even realize that all those events existed. In the same sense, in the soul dimension, we are all working together on the same correction. We do not correct, we all elevate. It does each soul occupy the work and the position in its own strength in the soul dimension? Yes, we are all the right. Yes, we are all the right at the right time in the right place. So I think that was the last answer. Yeah.
Então, a alma não corrige nada, apenas adiciona campos, eleva. E daí ele repete a mesma pergunta de cima. Ele fala: realmente mudamos a realidade? Não mudamos a realidade, transmutamos e transformamos de uma dimensão para outra. É como trocar de roupa para combinar com a festa para a qual você está indo. Aí repete: às vezes a impressão é de que o dia não existiu, mas ele estava lá, e você sabe disso. Mas muitos ao seu redor nem perceberam que todos esses eventos existiram. No mesmo sentido, na dimensão da alma, todos estamos trabalhando juntos na mesma correção? Aí ele responde: nós não corrigimos, nós elevamos. Nós todos elevamos. Aí ele repete novamente: ou cada alma ocupa o trabalho e a posição em sua própria força na dimensão da alma? Aí ele responde: sim, todos estamos no momento certo e no lugar certo.
Okay, so then we are on the fourth question. Today,
Thank you, Rick. I don't know if Sweta is back, but I think she's got a problem with with her internet connection. So I think I will take over because I don't know if she can connect.
So thank you so much for showing plasma connection, and I just remind everyone who listening that is new, you can forward your any question to your language group. So you go into Telegram and you type in your language group, and there will be someone who will know how to contact Rafael or Claudia or Mary for forward your question, and then you they will be read, but you have to just wait because they have a lot of questions coming every week. But I just want to remind that it's something. This question all community can do for any language, so you're welcome to participate. And I just want to thank Claudia and Mary and all the team. It was very, very great to be with them in this session. I really like to see them at work. They're doing a great job. Very, very. I'm jealous because I'm thinking, oh, only for the Italian group you know, I always wish that even in Italian group we get more organized and do more things. We got many projects, but we do at the moment practice a lot of star formation. I know that in the Italian group, for example, every I think several times a evening, a lot of people join in, and we meet in at the soul level, and we go in a group of 4, and we have different projects. So it's been very, very interesting. I asked them to please come forward, to come here and present their job, their work, because they've been doing a lot of stuff. And the soul level, no argument. I really understand this last workshop of last week, last Thursday. I really recommend to go in and see it for who didn't see it yet. It's the 502 workshop of knowledge seeker workshop that there is every Thursday, and you can go on Zoom. Again, in your language group, they will tell you the link to join the workshop. Are free teaching, so you get to be a student for free, where it's been shared the plasma technology, and it's the last week was super like a bomb. Every week is a bomb, but last week was really, really good. So I really recommend to go and watch it. And there was a part that I remember like this by heart. It's connecting to this practice that Italian group does, and we do in here when we meet in when we connect at the soul level. Last week, from my understanding, Mr. Keshe talked about that, you know, we got this common ground where we pass in information. Is not is all done by emotion, and by controlling this emotion, we can then have a say how we're reacting with the environment. And then, you know, he last week, last teaching, he really talked a lot about give us a tips of how we can start the process of transmutation. Yeah, so very, very good, very exciting, because means I mean, I need to refresh my driving license, but I hope to be able to transmute before I go back my driving license. That would be handy. So invite us all to practice, and I recommend you to watch it again. Regarding the thank you. Regarding the 11th of November, again, Mr. Keshe in the last teaching explained a lot. That is going to be a super unforgettable event. So it's really going to be one of its kind. So who is lucky to have the possibility to go, I really recommend you to go. And you have to do pretty soon, because he said maybe it's already not possible, because he said he was going to close the ticket for everyone to attend, and he will put the price higher for, yeah, thank you, Rick. Yeah, so I don't know if people can still join in. Yeah, so far you can, because it's still here. So I assume you can. So I recommend you to go if you can. It would be well money spent, because apparently is a unique of a kind event. It's going to be a lot of ambassadors and a lot of politicians. It will be shown a technology never shown before. He said even the knowledge seeker, they don't know what, it's never been shown. So even us, we don't have a clue. And it's going to really be a big breakthrough for science. And he hoped that the government start to collaborate together. So we're creating this grid of collaboration between governments. So this was also part of our wish in the Universal Council today. We really wanted to make this wish where government come forward, accept and sign the peace treaty in exchange of space technology, and I really hope that he also invite all of us to contact our governments and our ambassadors. Thank you so much, Rick. You put the link. Rick just put the link on the chat for the connect to this page for who wants to attend. I really highly recommend it. I know a lot of people in the background, especially one person here present. She's doing a lot. She's been very successful. You know who I'm talking to. You can understand that I'm talking about you. Up to you if you want to say anything. But yeah, I know that you also have contacted people at the government level. So hopefully more people will be contacted, and there will be very, very big step for the Keshe Foundation. So I'm very excited about it. I will do my best to attend as well. Everyone who doesn't have any possibility financially can email at info and say that I do not have possibility, I would like to attend and see what happened, because this is where it's important to donate, because if you're a rich person and you want to do something good and donate, you can donate a ticket for somebody else that cannot possible attend. This will be one way to spend the money well, and you will support the foundation in the research. So this is the, I just want to remind about this Congress, the 11th of November, conference on the 11th of November in London. Thank you so much. This is the link. Okay, I know that it's been last Friday. I know that we had the first interaction of the soul teaching. The soul, we had the project started where you had to, some of you been participating, and they measure the pH. For next week, if I'm understood correctly, next Friday will be the one for the sugar. So if ER knows anyone is diabetic, or anyone diabetic, it's anyway, if anyone's got problem with sugar level, this is a good way to understand more about it and how to it's a good project, so you may have a very good result. So this is it. I don't remember anything else of important news. Rick, I don't know if you have any, if you want to go to the next slide, or if you have anything to add, or anyone.
Hello, good afternoon. It's Manos.
Hi, how are you?
As far. Thank you, my dear. Thank you very much indeed. I wanted to ask you a question concerning question and answers. The answers are given by Mr. Keshe, or from the pieces of the archive, the soul answers with Maria.
That one are answers from the Universal Council. So what's happening, we're receiving the question from Maria and Claudia, and we answer the question. So anyone in the Universal Council, it's free to answer those questions, and then get repeated on the plasma connection appointment.
Oh, okay. So it's the UC people. Right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
I think it's done because it's important to keep the connection in both ways, so connected from the Universal Council to the knowledge seeker, but also you need the other flow to keep open. So from the knowledge seeker to the Universal Council. So it's just to keep the flow of communication. Yeah, yes. This is my understanding of the principle.
Thank you.
I don't know if anyone any other view about the plasma connection. That is my understanding. I don't know if Claudia, if you want to say something. Okay, maybe she cannot speak.
Hello.
Yeah, I Claudia.
Yes, I want to thank you, everybody. It's what you said. It's a connection between the knowledge seekers and you, the members of the Universal Council, and to share more this knowledge, because the time is now, I think, and we have to be the change. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for your help. I really enjoy your team is so professional and everyone very nice. It was very nice to be your guest. Thank you so much. Thank you for your work. I don't know if anyone has got any other question in the chat. I think.
There's a question in the Q&A from Syed, who says, hello, blessings. Will we be able to awaken to our original God DNA in the plasmatic future, our cosmic template? In New Age circles, they talk about it, but have not achieved it. Thanks.
I mean, for my understanding, then if anyone else want to give their understanding or their opinion, welcome. But from my point of view, Mr. Keshe said many times that we are ready now. So it's all depending on our understanding. So it's your responsibility to go in deep with the knowledge. Get it deeper as you can. So the more you practice, how you get deep, you get deeper, not just by reading or by listening, but you have to also practice. So if you practice to go deeper in the knowing yourself, then it would be easier for you with this knowledge that is already been given to achieve the transmutation. So you've been saying, from my understanding, that you already give us all the information that we need, and we can achieve transmutation now. So now it's up to us to study, apply, practicing, make it second nature, really in such a way that become a daily life. We're already doing it, and we're not aware of it. So now we have to just extend this awareness 24/7. So we have a choice on what we can do, because if we can transmute by working on the emotional level, we have to understand what is emotion. We have to understand how to feel this emotion, and then we have to become aware of it. And once you're aware, then you can change it. This is my understanding. But I don't know if Mushfaq is here, because Mushfaq took really well. He's practicing, so he can talk from within. I'm talking and practice very little.
And sometimes, when I practice with you, you don't have an option, so we do it together, right?
Yes, we're making. I only see like two people giving. When you're shaking hands with someone, I shake the hands with you. There is your hand, my hand, and there is your brain, my brain, and then there is one place where you don't know where my hand starting, and I don't know, when your hands starting or when my hands finished. So there is a place where we don't know who is who, and there is this intermediary place of two fields where we're exchanging information, I suppose. And yeah, so I see it like this way, a third brain where we're exchanging. Yeah, so that's why when we're connecting, I felt you when you were in Manchester. I'm sure.
Yeah, I know. I did it. I actually intentionally connected with you with the intention that, you know, you benefit from it. You know, this is one of the aspects of connecting, at least the way I attempt to do it, is that the connection is the bridge, but I want to add you know, something I want to do using this bridge. It's not just I connect to do such and such things, and or exchange information or whatever, or, you know, I would like your help, something of that nature. I am doing this, I am connecting so that I may do my task in a better way, something along that line. So, I mean, going to Saeed's question and also what Stefania said, like holding hand and where the brain ends, where the hand begins, and all these physical analogies. It's, you know, the God DNA, these are all physical. We are trying to describe something in the field using physical analogies. Now, there is nothing wrong with it, and we are very used to these physical analogies. But in the end, we can move away from this physical support. Much like when we transmute from physical existence to the non-physical field level, energy level. So the creator, can we ever reach the creator DNA that, you know, Saeed asked? In a way, there is nothing to reach for. The creator, as we all hear from in various ways, that it's within us, you know, the field is within us. The link is within us. There is nowhere to go, but it is there. So when we talk about connection, is the light that links us. So how far that the light reaches, you know, as we can shine it with a higher strength, we can reach a lot further. But it requires first, you know, we are not used to seeing in this light. When we connect to another field strength, even the enhancement unit, which can help us in conducting certain things, be it health situation, food situation, that connection is the light. It's going back and forth between us and the enhancement unit. But there is nothing physical going on here. And so when we do this exchange, it's a very tangible feeling, and there is nothing physical about it. Well, if you are, you know, dealing with food, you feel like you don't need to eat anything, things like that. That feeling comes in, or health situation, your whatever health problem goes away. Yes, but in the moment when we are not really, don't have any way to judge our physical condition, there the exchange is not necessarily physical. You know, those who have participated in guessing things, you know, in Rick's plasma reactor group, you know, in some of the experiments that was done with the enhancement unit, you know, we try, Mr. Keshe said, yes, we are presenting you with certain things. And then we how do you feel it? We got some of it, not all of it. Some of us, Mark is pretty good at it too. And so Mark, you can add later on as about those, but so it's a feeling. It comes like, I feel like a glass jar or something like that. Something along those lines that, I remember that's one of the things that we talked about. So similarly, we get a feeling. It's not an image in the sense that, you see on a video screen, no. But, sometimes the sensation is more real than the image itself. It's just a very weird feeling, but in a way, but it's there. So we connect with a different field strength. And none of us are, used to this because, we are very physical on this part. It requires a bit of practice to be familiar with it, to gain confidence or trust in our ability to do these things. And yes, we can all do it, but it's like, if we don't, who is going to do it if we don't initiate it? And there is a very good example of it. People went to the enhancement unit and they just want to feel it, nothing happened to them. So it's kind of like that, we have to engage ourselves. We may have to start, at some simple things, and then move slowly up. It depends, sometimes we'll go faster, sometimes nothing happens. That's true as well. But, our past experience, past successes are encouragements. Sometimes when you have a gap for one reason or another, the surrounding environment we live in is putting too much pressure on us and we can't focus, etc., etc. But in a way, those things are there, all right, but we can always build on what we have already built. It may be earlier in our efforts, we may have a gap in there. All of these are true, but at the same time, we can always rely that, yes, this is a tangible experience. And these are tangible experiences that I can build on. So, and it just requires what do you call it? Directing the mind or the soul. Mind is the physical side, the soul of physicality. So, sometimes, the soul engagement is reflected in the soul of physicality as well, and the physicality as well. So it's kind of like directing a mind. It's kind of like, yes, something like I went to the school and I want to be a doctor or whatever, and we are focused on that target. There are a number, 100 different things we have to do to get that degree called medical doctor. But the destination is very focused and very precise. So sometimes in this world of soul, we may think in imprecise terms, but is it? We can be extremely precise in our communication, in what we want to achieve, much like the medical degree. bit, but I wasn't getting there.
Oh, we lost that last sentence, I think.
Okay, I will repeat that. So in our learning procedures, sometimes, what our destination would be is not clear. For example, when we are learning to cook, we know we want to make this certain item, but we don't have the background at all. So we have to build up the background, and then slowly the destination or the objective comes into focus. This is where I want to go. And so even though, let's say, transmutation, maybe it's for many, it's unthinkable that we could transmute. Even now, some of us may be thinking, well, I know it's vaguely this and that. But as we build up our capacities, it comes into focus that yes, this is at a certain point, exactly, these are the things I have to do, I have to learn, and I have to aim for. So some of the grander, let's say bigger objective or goals require maybe first it may not be in complete focus, but we get there. The transmutation is a very good example. It's in a way something hard for even now for many people to imagine. And some of us, it's somewhat a hazy idea that is, transmutation. Yes, I get it. But as we build up our capacity, our muscles, so to speak, internal soul muscle, I'm using physical word, but you get the idea, or as we get familiar with certain field strengths, this becomes something more precise. So by the time one is in the fourth year or fifth year or sixth year, towards the end of a medical education, one knows, okay, this is what being a doctor means, and this is what I have to do. But in the beginning, it's a little fuzzy. So this is, I'm trying to be as practical here as I can, and in the sense that we all go through these kind of experiences, and try to relate it to existing experience, and we can all get there. The creator or the transmutation. What is, creator is a very strong idea, but yet we don't have a very good understanding of it. And that too comes with effort. And how we connect, and connect for what and how, and it has to be very personal in a way. There is no, and the language tend to fail after a certain point. And this is where, we get these ideas of feeling and things like that. It's just because the language becomes a bit, difficult or fuzzy, doesn't mean the experience is any fuzzier. It's actually precise, because language does not have the ability to explain these terms, because it's, language didn't develop to cover these areas. And this is where we, as we talk, like, Stefania and I were talking at the beginning, we both understood the term, like, holding hand and the brain connecting, but it's not exactly that, but we both understood because we both participated in it. So we use these proximate languages, and, in some ways, Keshe Foundation teachings are a bit difficult for this reason, because we are, Mr. Keshe is doing this tremendous job of fitting something very much outside the framework of languages into words, and then we have to bring ourselves and make the participation and turn these approximate word into precise experience. And so that's how we proceed. And I have a little bit of experience. I'm not any different from any of you, and and so we get there in our own way, and then we learn from each other as we do it. And sometimes my experience don't cover certain areas. Stefania's experience help there. And enhancement unit contains the collective experience of many. So the experience that I have developed, yes, it helped me, but a few more from others, from somewhere else in the world, comes into play and, covers those little gaps and accelerate our learning process. So we get there, transmutation, creator, whatever it may be, your destination for the time being, which is, again, temporary. But we can all enjoy it and not only enjoy it and get to our destination. Along the way, we have all our friends here and those who we don't know physically, yet they're connected here and elsewhere. They come along with it and they enjoy the ride. We enjoy our effort and their effort and see all of us progress. And knowledge seekers we are, whether on this planet or elsewhere else, or somewhere else in this universe, or even outside that. Thank you very much. So Mark, you may want to talk a little bit about your side of the story, and let's see, we may learn a few things from you as well.
Well, I don't have much to say about it, other than we all have the capabilities. We're all being woken up to it, and it's for each individual to find it on their own, more or less, because you're a unique creation and only you understand you. So although Mr. Keshe is giving us advice and techniques, and I don't think we've had much at all of playing. As he said in the last workshop, we need to play and play and play more. So this is what we need to practice, and to believe it first, and then you will see it if you believe it. So, but it's all about the individual. You're a unique creation, and there's no magic to it. It's just a matter of going in more inside yourself, I think. I know he did give us some techniques when we were in the Reactor group about when they were transferring information or items and trying to figure out what was being transferred in there. It's just a very soft voice or a whisper or just a flash of an image. Sometimes you'll get multiple images and you sort of have to pick one in a way. And it just happened that I guessed correctly or felt it. But as I said, I think we need a lot more practice. But the first step is believing it can be done, and you will see it. And we can all do that. It's more of a point of trusting ourselves, and it's just a natural process we're being woken up to, that we didn't realize we have such capabilities, especially what he said about the interchangeability of the soul of physicality and the soul of the man. It's just a built-in system, or gaining knowledge from the souls of the entities that live in that environment, and you're also sharing your knowledge with them simultaneously. So these are all built-in features that we never even knew existed. We've been so physical, myself included, not realizing that this other dimension is existing and operating, and now it's no more a dream. We're creating it into the reality. I always wondered when Mr. Keshe said the matter state is the illusion and the dream state is the reality. And this is the work on the soul level, which we've all denied or been told it's just a dream. It's just something people do intermittently or regularly. And it's all confusing, but this is the work of the soul. So we're just starting to scratch the surface. And all these systems and everything are helped as a system assist for all of us to find it. It's not going to be magic anymore. We need to understand it, myself included. So that's about all I have to say about it. We all have the capabilities. We're all equal. It's just a matter of developing it. And again, which dimension do you want to operate in? Apparently, we're going to accommodate all of them, whether it's the physical transportation or the transmutation. So it's just up to you. How much of that banana do you want to peel? How much of it do you want to open up? How closer to the creator do you want to become? You already are it. It's just us who's denied it. So again, it's an individual work more than having an intermediary to tell you what to do or to say this is how you do it. And that way, there's never any need for an intermediary once you find yourself or on your own, with the help of the systems, of course. That's what they're being developed for. As he said, it's not that we've forgotten our capabilities. It's just we haven't used them in so long. They seem remote or foreign, or again, and with the whole structure of the society around us, obviously denying it. Everything is presented more or less in the physicality. So, and plus all the other ancestor souls that you're carrying with you that never had their eyes open to this other dimension. Everything was physical. So again, it's just a matter of us finding it, and certainly it's being delivered. More and more tests, new trials are being called for by Mr. Keshe. So it's all going to come out. It's the knowledge is being gifted to the doctors and the rest of it. So most of this is a gift as I see it. It's not anything we earned or studied for or anything like that. Just to have the desire to want it, to be able to use it to serve more. So that's all I have to say.
You just remind me when, thank you, Mark. You just remind me when the mobile phone come in, and I remember my friend come back from Japan, and he said to me, you know, Stefania, it's gonna be a mobile phone with videos, and you can take a picture from it, and I just couldn't see it. I just couldn't. I thought impossible. Because at the time we had this mobile phone, Nokia, no, and I just couldn't see the possibility of a phone with a camera, everything included in the phone, and now everyone uses it. So I'm trying to, when you were talking, I was trying to think that way, where you know, we didn't know we could do these things. Now we know, so now we become aware, and then, you know, we start to play with it. You know, by the doing, I bet you feeling by doing. Correct me, Mushfaq, if I'm wrong. As you're doing is when you get the feelings, and you're learning, and then the more you learn, the more things you can do, because when you know what you're doing, you can do what you want, and then the impossible become possible. You know, and I see this is the road. I see this where, you know, if no point to think too much.
Yeah, and the bigger beauty is that this whole capability is already built within each and every one of us. It's already there. These things are already set. It's a matter of flicking the right switch or whatever it is. I'm no expert at it by far. So I need to learn a lot. So just encouraging everybody, it's already there and it's built inside your creation to be able to do this. We're actually just energies and manifest and whatever inertia. or we can create it, or even operating, I think he said in the last workshop, without any dimension of physicality right here on this planet, and still be able to absorb new types of knowledge to be shared maybe once you come back into a physicality again. So there's so many different possibilities. It's endless, limitless.
I suppose now we are more like bricks, and slowly we try to become more like a sponge where we can then make the knowledge go through it. Because from my understanding of last teaching, the more we learn how to feel each other, to feel the emotion of whatever is around us, then we can interact with it. And as we can interact with ourselves and the environment, and we have a say on where we want to go, what we want to do. So I think it's kind of, I feel as a metaphor, we become more spongy. So it's like the water can go through now, the knowledge. I don't know.
Yeah, and the new systems have the ability to transfer knowledge, to be able that everyone has the same knowledge. So this is another beautiful aspect of it, that these systems will allow knowledge and interactions and communications and the rest of it to be transferred to everyone equally, and pretty much maybe simultaneously if you desire it.
It's
but
like
slowly, step by step. He said we can't introduce it too quickly.
It's like if you nano-coat in the body, it's like if our body gets nano-coated and we created more space between us so we can interact more, something like that.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things going on in the background to make everything come together pretty much simultaneously. Where you have the plasmatic gases, you have the feeding system through the fields, the communication, the cosmic ray bundles are starting to come out, even talking about miniaturizing those and implanting those along a bloodline within the body of the man to be able to have instantaneous transmutation until perhaps you don't need the system anymore. That's what he's always, how he's developed the systems. People say, you know, all of a sudden I stopped using it. Yeah, he said, because you didn't need it anymore. So that may be the way it's going to go here. But I know there's so many things I don't understand about it. So I'll just close the mic.
But Mark, it feels like the body gets nano-coated. You know, when you nano-coated the copper and then the copper gets nano-coated and we can make the ganses. It feels like this equipment kind of nano-coating the body. So then we are more reacting more with the environment. But it's just, you know, I don't know, something wants to...
Yeah. And as he said in the Lisa's video, The New Tomorrow and everything, it's a gift in a way from the creator. So we're being gifted this ability to advance our own understanding and existence in the universe. And he's going that every creature will have the ability to transit between both dimensions. So the creator is also going through a huge remodeling process in the creation. Galaxies will move, other things will change, and they'll hold that position for this ability to, as with the pH, to hold above 7. So this ability will be is getting put into a position where it's going to hold. It's not going to, the universes and the fields are not going to go back to the way they used to be. And all of the creatures will have the ability to transit.
One of the things I would like to add here is that in a plasma system, you know, even in the maggrav for electricity, it's instead of being pushed from the source end, it's from the load end or where it's needed. So if we need something, if we want to do something, then this knowledge or energy becomes available to us. It's always there. The creator is always there. within us, let's say. But
you mean like just-in-time delivery?
yeah, it's just-in-time delivery. We don't even need a brain to hold any of these things. It's just when we need it, it's there. So, we can be in the field or take a physical form of any kind. And then, as you said, on demand, get it there, whatever physical form we may take. And it may not be like a life form, it may be a spaceship, I don't know. So, or a maggrav device for that matter. But the interesting thing is that even in maggrav, and some of the other devices we have talked about, it's demand driven, not somebody's pushing on something on us that you take it. So this is an opposite way of thinking. It's the mentality of it's prosperity. I have enough. It's always there. I'm never short of anything. It's all there. I get it. I take what I need, and then my need is not that great. Our physicality or even our non-physical aspect. We are a small collection of energies, and there are certain needs to serve. To do something with it. It can be for a bigger purpose, and then we draw a lot of energy for something to change. Let's say world peace. And here, this is the interesting thing. We can do small things like moving an object from one place to another, but in one place to another, but we can also make a major change in a planetary scale. In a sense, we act as a conduit of energy, or just energy transfer, because we know how to create the need or the demand. And so this is building up the confidence that we can handle the energy or the fields and reshape them into a form which can bring peace and prosperity in the planet. And we'll talk more about the ambassador meeting next time. But this is something all of us are capable of here, and we have to think in these terms. It doesn't have to be many. It's the quality of the need that is more important, And this is, in a way, this also kind of like makes me reluctant to make, let's say, physical devices, because if I can do it this way, yeah, at some point, in order to teach others or connect with others, we may have to make something physical. But we can do all of these without any physical devices, because the whole system is within us. And we can do very precise, small things, and we can do something of significance for the planet and even beyond. So this is something that, believing it, as Marx said so well, and then making it a reality. These two go hand in hand. And along the way, we talk a little just the way we are doing right now, but, it's not so much a big job, I would say. It's a job. Sometimes we participate in it, not just for us, but for all of us. And then, in a way, we change the whole environment. And the manifestation in that environment changes as a whole. We call, in this context, in one nation, one planet, one race context, it is the peace and the prosperity. So anyway, so this is a very, we it's a very intriguing thing that we can change a lot, but at the same time, be kind of humble and, you know, be low profile while doing it. And I like it for this reason. I mean, perhaps it's my personality. Some people may like it a little differently, but we are all expressing ourselves in our own unique way. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you, Master.
We have 2 questions from Tony in the YouTube. Perhaps we can address that. And we also have a suggestion from Lissy to play a segment from the 502nd Knowledge Seekers Workshop. So first, the question is from Tony. Is the sun's vibration waking us up? And can Gans water create the vibrations we need?
I will try to answer it a little bit. You know, sun vibration or Gans vibration helping us to wake up. There are so many suns around us. You know, in us there are many, and there is the outside sun, the sun that we see during daytime, or the sun that we call Gans. Each Gans is is the sun by itself. And once again, you know, all of these are energy sources. Our friends, the people, knowledge seekers here, the Keshe Foundation as a whole, all of these are suns in a way. And what are we prepared, how are we prepared to participate with these suns? We can give from our sun, we can receive from these suns, and we create wonderful things in the process, be it health or something much bigger. So I'll keep it short here, but you know, I hope I answer you.
I think that was a very good answer. Anybody else care to say anything about that, or shall we go on to the excerpt from the 502nd Knowledge Seekers Workshop?
Hello. Well, if I may add also, we always talk about a force and energy and vibration coming out towards us. Well, it's kind of an energy inside of us that can go out also. And we need to work on this. We don't know the limit of our energy if it's really being guided correctly. So we need both of the energies from inside, from our heart, from our sun to outside, and from outside to inside. Outside is kind of controlled. What we can control, and we have access all the time, is our energy inside. When I say energy, I mean all our resources, soul, vibration, light, potentiality. We have a lot more potentiality than we ever imagined as far as energy. So I think Keshe Foundation is kind of showing us how to use this inside energy as a source of energy to get where we want also.
Okay, thank you, Mehran. Okay, I suggest we move to the excerpt from the 502nd Knowledge Seekers Workshop. This will be about 18 minutes. Okay, let Let me just get that set up properly here. Okay, let's begin.
There it is. I found it. Recently, the knowledge increases and we become more ignorant to it. Okay.
There's also an undo at the bottom right. One of the insignia, the first insignia in the bottom right.
It shows the panel. It's upgrading it to something. It's downgrading up. Okay. Going back to the teaching. In understanding something which we never understood, but we emphasize again and again on it for you to understand. In a dimension of the physicality of the man. Oh, very nice shape. Now, where do I find colors? Okay. Yeah. We know in a dimension of physicality of the man, man has no physical dimension if there is not an environmental field, which means we have no dimension, oops, if there was no magnetical gravitational field of the earth around us. If we move to another dimension, if we move to another position, and the environment changes, we'll find out that us as man will not exist. This is a very nice trick. But what will be interesting for most of us is if we change the field, the environmental field, do we become invisible? In the field dimension of the man, on earth, we have a physicality. When we change the fields, we disappear. What kind of new creatures would be us manifesting ourselves at? Is the possibility of a line of life changes? Or do we still have that possibility, that what I call having the soul inside it? Having the soul that can bring the dimension of physicality to the soul of physicality in a new condition of life. In a way, if we change, if we bring a new condition, a new environment, how would we look? Would we trust to be able to go back to our original colors and conditions and life as a man? Would we think as a man in a dimension, or would we think as a new creature, new understanding according to the environment we manifest ourselves? The truth about all this is that have we understood that we have a nuclear bomb with massive radiation capabilities, that is a cosmic rays, sits within the center of the body of the man. We call it the soul of the man. It is more energetic it's more powerful in strength than the whole of the physicality put together. Body of the man is made of billions and billions of cells, and each cell itself has an energy to maintain its position and the condition of life. So the body of the man physically is a energy packs times billions, trillions. And that energy in the dynamic motion transfer of the fields to what we call its blood creates a cage to hold this in. One energy pack encaging another. But there is an interconnection between these two that allows one to be embedded inside the other. In a way, if you look at it in a bigger scale, you have your physical dimension outside from the interaction of these two. It's very much like gravity and magnetical field. In the interaction, we create the mass. Physicality. There is no difference if you call the soul of physicality magnetical field and the soul of the man the gravitational field, with the capability that one can change position with the other. Through an interconnection, through an interline power level, what we call common denominator, they can switch from one to another. Then this switch will decide in interaction with the environment how you manifest yourself at a point and a place. You switch the fields to the dimension of physicality, what do we have? We are going to have an amazing condition where what we call the dimension of the interaction, dimension of the position and the position of the fields can create the different dimension of physicality of the man in the same environment. What it means, you can change slightly the emotion, the dimension, and the direction. And then in that process, you can turn from being a white man to a black man. Because the environment of the earth has not changed. Is the field emotion of the place you live with allows you to do the transmutation. You look like Chinese, you speak Chinese, you understand the emotion of the Chinese language. Because now you kept within the gravitational magnetic field of the planet Earth. Is the inertia and a position in respect to the center and a condition of the fields of the inertia created, which gives you that environment. Don't forget, when you enter a new environment, let's say from England you go to China, the soul of the Chinese dictates part of that inertia. The soul of emotion of the nation, culture, language, dictates that part of inertia. That's why you manifest yourself if you decide as a Chinese and understand the whole lot. Then the language and the dictionaries are not needed, because now you don't need to press this and it gives you the meaning but not the emotion of. Now, when you speak, you understand your soul has the emotion of the feeling of the word too. Now, you decide to change the gravitational field of the earth to the moon. Now you manifest yourself in that position in the moon as a man of the moon. Is there a life on the moon? Is the collective life and interaction of your soul with it teaches you how to communicate, how to exist? Or you create a new dimension that the interaction of the emotion of the soul of the man and the soul of his guardian man translates that to the existence on that planet. You learn the language, you learn the feature, not out of transmutation, but by the collection of the interaction of the fields of the environment, of the soul of the people, entities who live in that environment. They transfer the energy, they transfer the knowledge to you as much as you transfer to them. It's not only the transmutation by the physical dimension, is interaction of the soul of the man in transmutation that interacts with the soul of the citizens of that environment that allows you to be part of, to be understood, and to live like them. Now you understand how some of the citizens of the universe live amongst us, talk like us, show emotion like us. They fall in love like man, but they have no intention to show their existence, where they come from. Now we graduate into that knowledge. Now, with understanding this, with the training we have started in Manchester and follow up in London, in Beijing, and courses and sessions will be put by the Keshe Foundation. The world governments will bring that new dimension in. It would not be exclusivity of the rich. It would not be exclusivity of scientists. It will not be exclusive of the man. Even a dog can be educated into this knowledge as we teach the soul, not the physicality. Does not matter if you walk on 2 or 4 or 10. Now you understand how the environmental condition in collective understanding of interaction of the fields makes man knowledgeable of the dimension and the position in the universe as he manifests himself in that position on time and space. But once you interacted, once you transmutate, once you gather the knowledge, it becomes part of the universal knowledge. You move to another position in the universe, you gain the knowledge from them, and the knowledge you gain from the previous positions will become the knowledge of the new citizens of the environment, in the area you landed in understanding, in moving forward, in a way, adding to the knowledge, we add to the knowledge of the universe. Do not forget that you are part of the intellect of the universe. And you become that position and time and space. In a way, when your soul lands in an environment, and then you decide to manifest your soul of physicality, which now embeds inside the soul. Then, in the interaction with the soul of the citizens, you'll be knowledgeable in the interaction to the whole knowledge of the environment you have manifested yourself. Now you understand how the fields of the soul of physicality in dimension of interaction understanding can manifest itself and move to the position of the new strength, which you have manifested yourself in. In a way, man will become very fast aware of how to move in and out of the position without really knowing anything about it. In a way, even if you take off and land by mistake somewhere you did not think, imagine existed, you will find your soul. And then you decide if the soul of physicality which you embedded with you will manifest itself in that dimension or not. This is why we keep on asking you. This is why we keep on teaching you how. Then you understand the soul of the man is nothing but an energy. The soul of physicality of the man is nothing but the energy pack. And then you understand all we have talked about from the beginning of the teaching, 500 and something before and before that, is about transmutation and transportation of the packs of energies. You call it the soul, you call it the physicality, you call it both in the dimension of transportation and transmutation. That's all it is. Now we have to gain the knowledge how to switch between the two, irrespective of environment. Then man, fear of transmutation will walk away from him, as it's become a natural and a normal process in understanding of the totality of the existence in the universe. And if you understand this, we go back, as I always say in Quran, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We have completed the knowledge of the creation. We have completed in understanding the process of the creation, how we create ourselves, how we manifest ourselves according to the time, place, position, strength of the fields, and in understanding of the totality.
Okay, that's our excerpt from the 502nd Knowledge Seekers Workshop of last Thursday.
Okay, thank you, Rick. I think we can go to the next slide if anyone wants to say anything, because I'm aware we are out of time. So it was very, very good idea, Lisbeth. Thank you so much. And it was very, very deep workshop. I really recommend to go in and see it, the 205 in YouTube if you didn't see it yet. Okay, this is the last slide. And anyone want to read this one, or shall I read it? Okay, I'm gonna read it. So we are here not to be served, the Universal Council. Very deep sentence. Yeah, because we are here to serve, not to be served. It's you can interpret it in many ways. So thank you so much for being here today. I don't know if anyone wants to say anything. Lisbeth, you want to say anything? At the end, you welcome everyone. I don't know if you can talk.
So, because all the time you unified with the all beings and universal community and form part of the soul of the peace. Thank you so much. And thank you, Rick and Mark.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rick, Mark, Mushfaq, Mehran, everyone who participated in Claudia today, thank you so much, Sweta. So we're looking forward to see you next week. I wanted to ask you, before to finish, Rick, I wanted to ask you about your testimonial of yesterday, your public teaching. If you have anything you want to share, but maybe I don't know if it's too late now.
I think it's a bit late for that right now. We have a hand up we have to address here right now.
Okay,
so we should,
perfect.
take that question and probably
Which one is
close
it?
off with Frank. Would you like to go ahead, Frank?
A question.
If you could say who you are and where you're from, that would be good.
I'm Frank. I'm from Holland. So I met Mr. Keshe last Friday, I think. So, but I have a question, if I understand it well. Is it also possible that we have a connection with other fields, other beings? So do I see it right then that you have a physical body which can contain several fields? So several planes of existence in the material dimension as a human.
Mushfaq, do you want to answer that? I don't know if you hear the question.
Okay, I'll try. And soul or any plasma like soul has all levels of existence within it.
Yes.
And it's not necessarily a human being that possesses this. I know. If you go to the level of an electron, you have the same situation. It has all the fields.
Yes.
Now, yes, and so as to which field the entity want to use or manifest or to do something with the environment that surrounds the entity, that is up to the being, be it electron or be it a human being. So, and as to one's ability to interact at different levels, it's the capacity of the being that has this soul. So, and this is a learning process that the being goes through. And as it matures, higher dimension or a higher density, higher strength field of density, higher strength fields can be part of their expression, so to speak. And expression means it's interaction with other souls around, be it an atom, be it a sun or a galaxy or a universe. So it depends, and on the capacity of the being. A galaxy, which is also a being, has a different level of capacity to manifest itself. So in due course, we learn more about we or other beings, or any beings for that matter, learns about their own capacity to use the field. Or as this statement here goes, we are here to serve and not to be served. In the end, they know how to use the field for the enhancement of the whole creation. And in the process, they enhance their capacity of being a creator. It's through the service. So I'm just connecting with what is there on our screen to answer your question. Is that what you are trying to get to, or am I?
Yeah, I think it had some overlap. So I'm thinking when you're with the MAGRA systems and with the GANSs, you're how do you call it? You clean your body from emotional trash and mental trash. So it's easier for your body to contain the higher energies. So that's how I look into it. So if you are connected with that higher energies, it's much more easier to bring the fields of compassion, love, and everything what supports unconditional love through your physical body. So yes, we are here to serve. So a human body can be then how do you call it, a vehicle to the higher energies, to put the higher energies on this planet. That's how I see it. I think we use different because we try to put words in something what is happening, and that is the difficulty. But I think we understand each other.
You know, one thing that you just talked about very nicely about when you mentioned about MAGRA organs, you know, in our interaction with these entities, MAGRA organs, they serve us with a balanced field. And in achieving our own balance, we serve others. So it's a very interesting situation where we have what in quote non-life form, plasma reactor, or plasma, serving us or benefiting us, which gives us the ability, as you described, that as we develop our balance and our higher capacity, we are ready to serve others even better. So it's a very interesting thing once we look at it from the perspective of service. So thank you for saying that.
Yeah, thank you very much for your explanation.
Okay, I think that's a lovely way to close today's meeting. Is there anything else that needs to be said?
Oh, not that I'm aware of. I don't know if anyone has anything to say. Thank you so much to both of you. Yes, it was great.
And I don't know, Frank, if you're aware, there's a Dutch public language community meeting in about 90 minutes from now. I think they meet on Tuesday and Thursday. So you're welcome to join up with that.
Good suggestion, Mark. How can he do that? Is there a Zoom connection, a Zoom?
I think he said he's already, yes, I know, I joined up. Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
already ahead of that game. Thank you. All right, some good topics, great interactions here today. Let's see, let me get my background image up here, which, by the way, our background image is from Gianni, who says thank you in the chat just now. So that's one of his projects, is building these structures, which are built from nano-coated and GaNs-coated wood and other materials. And thank you, Gianni, for the lovely picture of happy people and on another project working together.
You may also want to mention, Rick, that a group of reactors will be meeting, I think, at 7 a.m. on Wednesday, called the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group.
I was just about to mention that, but generally I close off by saying Thank you, everybody, for being here for the 291st One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace here on Tuesday, September 12th, 2023. Then I say our next public teaching workshop will be the Keshe Plasma Reactor group, where a bunch of people also meet, a bunch of happy people also meet to do show and tell of the plasma technology, as well as discuss any topics of concern. And we always try to bring it around to plasma in the end. And that meeting will start at 7 a.m. Central European time. Usually goes for several hours. Again, that's on Wednesday, September 13th. Thank you, Mark, for the suggestions. Or anything else you wanted to say about that?
No, that was it. I just thought I'd play, instead of the reactor group, a group of reactors will be joining.
Oh, okay. Yes, indeed. You could also say a group of souls. Okay, is there any other announcements? Let's see. Well, other than we have the Knowledge Seekers Workshop, of course, coming up on September 14th, Thursday, September 14th. As usual, as far as we know, at 9 a.m. Central European time. Okay, I think that's it. We'll go out with Sweta's favorite. She's not here right now, but maybe she's listening in the background or will listen later. And the Flight Enhancement Spaceship Unit music version. Okay, thanks everybody for attending today. And thank you, big thank you to the members of the Universal Council for being here and sharing and caring. Okay, bye for now.